This self-made real estate duo has worked with music artist Atiya, business mogul Pinky Cole.
That's right. In their book, We Nailed It, they shared tips about real estate. And now for today's Picks Financial Fix, they're giving a look at what is happening in 2025. Please welcome Douglas Bricks Parson and Atiya Blondie Parson. How are you guys?
We're well.
Great.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, and there's always going to be changes in the real estate market, up and down. It fluctuates and so on and so forth, right? So how do you think that people are saying the election actually could have impacted real estate as well? So how does that work? How does the election interfere?
I really don't like to talk politics or about politicians, but I will tell you this. I just think that that it's going to go further and that we're going to do better with Trump coming in just because he's a real estate guy.
Okay.
So he understands that these interest rates needs to drop so the world can get back on point. You know, people can start spending money and things will go back to normal. I think it's all real estate.
Is he on the side of the seller, though?
Who?
Not
Donald
necessarily.
Trump being a developer?
No.
Well, he's selling, he's buying, so he's actually on both sides. He has to buy from someone, then he sells it. He improves it. So that's kind of like what we do. We buy, improve, and sell.
Yeah, but I think really with the market, I think they toggle with the rates. Just because so many people were complaining about groceries being so expensive and gas. So I really think it was like, okay, what can we toggle with? This is something that we can change immediately. Yeah. And so we did see interest rates going down.
Yeah.
So buy before he gets into office, or wait?
Well, now is the best.
Now is the best time to buy, because what you have is a lot of people are backing up because of these interest rates, but you can actually buy your interest rates down. So now's a great time to buy because it's not a ton of buyers, so you kind of like are in control as the buyer.
Meaning refinance?
Yeah, you can ask for anything.
Well, not refinance. When you're buying a home, you can buy points down.
Right.
So it's an additional cost that you would have to pay before you actually sign off on the home.
So if you get 7% now and you say, no, I want 5% because my payment to be here, they'll give you a dollar amount you can pay and it'll buy it down to that 5%.
Right.
Or are you just paying in advance then?
No,
you're paying to get a lower mortgage rate. However, my question is, why don't you just take the thousands of dollars that you pay to get the mortgage rate down and just put it toward the house?
It's not apples to apples when you do it like that.
Yeah. It's a little different.
Yeah.
But I mean, some people do that, but it just depends on what kind of financial situation they're in. You know, usually our higher end clients, they're like, okay, well, I'll just buy the interest rate down. Where if you have your typical
person, they can't buy it down.
They can't do that because it's going to be too expensive.
Right. And you're that lump sum of the down payment itself is just scary enough number buying the house. But you're looking at the trends that are out there right now, and there's this idea of one-click home buying and what exactly that is. Are you talking about the Zillows of the world? Like, what exactly is it?
That would be the Zillows of the world, and what they do is the seller gets out of paying us, the real estate agents, but the seller runs a chance of it being big issues. Right. You know, or the buyer might have big issues because they don't know the law, they don't know the contracts, they don't know everything. So you might think you're getting a good deal by saving money, not using one, but.
Is that a for sale by owner situation?
Well, for sale by, that is that situation.
Right, and we call those FSBOs. So for sale by owner, like for instance, if you have a home and you really don't want to pay an agent, you can just
stick a sign in the yard.
Stick a sign in your yard, right?
And Zillow will have you with no agent,
Right.
So.
But it's really good to have the agent involved because that's, we stay up on our real estate classes, the law, contracts are constantly changing. So that's the person that's going to be in your corner to make sure you're not taking advantage of.
Right. So I've been doing it for like about 25 years. So you get a lot of experience when you work with us.
And then he drugged me into it the last.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The last, 4 years?
Right,
yes.
So if you're new to buying a home, you want to do it for your first time, prices are higher than ever.
Right.
What are the best tips?
The best tips is find you a great agent that can negotiate well for you. Definitely do your research. Don't buy the first home you see. Find a few homes, go check them out, and like if you got extra money, buy your rate down.
And I would say look at your budget too, because some people don't have a realistic budget in mind of how much a home is going to cost. So really look at your budget if you're a first-time home buyer and get in something that you can afford. And it doesn't mean it's your forever home.
Right.
Because you can later on move into something that is
a little more to
your liking.
Buy the worst home in the best neighborhood?
No.
That's what we do, though.
No. I have kind of mixed emotions on that. Not to necessarily buy the worst home in that neighborhood. I just say look at your needs, education, price, and things like that, and go from there.
And don't forget the hidden fees, right? Because you're in the head, you see the price of the home wherever your agent was
right.
okay, and then you do the 20% down payment or whatever your down payment is. Okay,
right.
good to go.
Right.
And you forget all the
closing costs,
and oh my God,
appraisal fees.
Yep.
During the pandemic, we saw that 3% mortgage rate. Do you think it's ever going to be that high?
Never.
Never.
And I stand on that, never. Now, what I do want I want to get it back down about 5%, and if you just have perfect credit, like 800 score, maybe 4.5%. But they really need to drop these rates because, like, with them having those rates, it affects the real estate agent, it affects the appraisers, the buyers.
Everyone.
We're out of time. Oh, great. You guys are awesome. Come on back, okay?
Definitely.
Okay, come on back. And you can check out more real estate and relationship advice from the Parsons in their book. We nailed it. The Blueprint for Real Estate and Relationships. It is wherever you buy books, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, there you go.
All right.
Okay.